It's time for a new episode of Sit Down with the Supt. In this episode, what Evergreen Public Schools is doing to prepare for the 2025-2026 school year budget. Also, meet our new Chief Academic Officer. Dr. Brian Fox shares his goals for student equity, teaching, and learning. And Creature Creations, how students at Archway Academy are creating tasty pet treats and learning real-life job skills.
Hello and welcome to Sit Down with the Supt. I'm Craig Birnbach. I work in the communications department here at Evergreen Public Schools, and I'm the host for Sit Down with the Supt, the show where Superintendent Dr. Christine Moloney and other school leaders share information that impacts Evergreen Public Schools students, staff, and community. And with that, I want to welcome in Dr. Christine Moloney, our superintendent. As always, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
And we're going to start with some feature pictures, plural, for the show. And behind us, this is from Columbia Valley Elementary School. This was a Science on Wheels traveling exhibition from Pacific Science. These kids were having a great time learning about science.
I love hearing that. STEM is a special place in my heart because I used to be a science teacher as well. And I had the privilege of going over the Pioneer Elementary, and the PTA had brought in the Pacific Science Center as well. And I got to see pig lungs being inflated right after breakfast with a whole bunch of second graders in that gymnasium. So it was amazing. So I love seeing this for our students here in Evergreen.
Awesome. And now we're going to head to York Elementary School. And there we have what they call Dress Up as Your Favorite Book Character Day. So many of our elementary schools do this, and of course it's a lot of fun. So I wanted to ask you, Dr. Moloney, if you had to dress up as a children's book character, where would you go with that one?
Well, maybe some parents or grandparents might relate to this. I loved Little House on the Prairie growing up, and so Laura Ingalls would be my book character. However, if you're a little on the younger side, you may relate to Elsa out of Frozen. Love it.
Gotta let it go, right?
Yes.
All right, and now we head over to Ellsworth Elementary School. I can't believe this is an elementary school production of Jungle Book. Just look at that set. It was just gorgeous. I was told that this was like the whole school community coming behind this to help set this up and design it. I mean, just beautiful.
It's absolutely gorgeous. And a shout out to Mr. Cummings, the music teacher there. It was a phenomenal production. And again, that set was amazing.
It is. And they had a performance for the kids during the day and for the adults at night. All right, now we're going to talk about some more serious issues. And of course, just about a month ago, you were named the permanent superintendent. Of course, you've been here since July as the interim superintendent. With that transition, how does that change your job?
Well, I am continuing on the work that's been set forward in the strategic plan, so really focusing on belonging for each and success for all. And so now I'm coming in now as the permanent superintendent. I'm going to be working with the board setting priority goals for long term. And so that's really the difference between the interim and the permanent position that I am now. Really able to look forward, 1, 3, 5 years and more down the road of where we want student achievement to be in this district and how I'm going to go about working with the team here at the district level, at the building level, to make that happen.
And speaking of your team, one of a very important hire for you is you recently named Dr. Brian Fox the permanent Chief Academic Officer. Now, he had also been here since the summer as the interim Chief Academic Officer. Why did you think Dr. Fox was the right person to be the permanent Chief Academic Officer?
Well, Dr. Fox, when he first came on as interim Chief Academic Officer, went through a multi-tiered, pretty significant interview and hiring process. And through him building relationships, really getting an understanding of our teaching, learning, and equity departments here, working with building administrators and instructional teams out in our schools. He has really got a good handle of what's happening. He's got a great vision that obviously aligns perfectly well with mine and with our school districts for Belonging for Each, Success for All. He also has recent experience for being a teacher and a principal. I mean, really recent. He took some time from being in the district office and went and became a teacher and then a substitute principal for a while. So he really knows and understands what's happening within the classrooms. So he brings a huge wealth of experience with him, multi-levels, multi-different departments that he's able to offer here in Evergreen. And so he went through the interview process, and I was very fortunate to be able to choose him as our brand new permanent Chief Officer for Academics.
All right, and earlier, Dr. Moloney, we did catch up with Dr. Fox, and we asked him why he thought this was a good fit for him here at Evergreen Public Schools. Dr. Fox, thanks for joining us. You are now the permanent Chief Academic Officer. You were the interim, and you applied for the permanent and now got it. Why were you interested in the job, and why are you excited that now you're staying with us?
Well, it's been a very rewarding 8 months to serve as interim Chief Academic Officer, and I'm excited to be the CAO and build upon the work that we've been doing. I get the chance to work with some very talented individuals who are working together to make things better for students in Evergreen Public Schools. And I think there's some momentum that has been building, and I'm eager to continue working with people who are eager to do that work.
All right, Chief Academic Officer, it's a kind of a big title, big general title. Can you explain to people, what your focus is in this role?
Yes, my job is to implement the EPS Strategic Plan within a group of departments that we call Teaching, Learning, and Equity, or TLE. And so I get to work with people leading a multilingual learners department, or the student equity, or special education, curriculum instruction, those kinds of departments, as we work to create an inclusive, high-achieving educational environment for our students here in Evergreen.
And how does that trickle down into the schools?
Well, EPS leadership is in each one of the schools. We've got leaders in every single one of the buildings doing hard work every day, working with teachers, working with staff, working with students to raise student achievement, to increase student belonging, and the work that we do in the central office or the district office is in support of those folks.
And what are your main goals now that, as the interim, you're kind of figuring things out, making sure the day-to-day, but now that you're able to look ahead, what are your big, rocks, we might call them?
Well, for several months, we've been working on something called an instructional framework with some accompanying documents that will lead towards or help those folks out in the buildings work towards continuous improvement of student achievement. And so that will roll out this summer and become fully implemented in the 25-26 school year. Another real big goal of ours is to expand our work on inclusive programming, to include our multilingual learners and our special education students, to ensure that they receive the support that they need to succeed.
All right. I've looked at your resume. We've known each other for a while. You have a very diverse background in education. I'm not going to give the years because you're still a young man, but you've worked as a teacher, an associate principal, a principal. You've led instruction at the district level. You've even been a chief communications officer. All those roles in education, how does it help you in your current role?
Well, I'm at the best part of my career right now because of all the experience that I've had in the past. To have experience in the classroom, to have experience as a principal. Last year I served as an elementary principal. Gives perspective to the people that are making decisions and doing work in a district office leadership position. And you just have insight. You have insight as to what's going on. Now, I haven't done the work that's being done each day in our classrooms post-COVID, but I have an understanding of some of the challenges that they do have, and I think that informs me. I think that gives me a little bit more confidence in working with people to find solutions for the challenges we have in Evergreen.
Thanks so much for your time, Dr. Fox.
You're welcome.
I am very excited to continue to work with Dr. Fox as part of our team.
All right, now we have to transition a little bit to talk about budget because it is budget season for school districts. And of course, we know that school districts like ours in our region, in our state, are still managing budget challenges. But where do you think EPS is heading into next year's budget?
Okay, I really want to make sure that I say thank you again to our voters in our community for the support for our levies. That was essential for our Evergreen school community and our students. We are moving we're actually in the planning stages right now for our budgets, and the state has just wound down their budget process, and so we are not expecting what we originally wanted, right, from the state. So we are going to be funded partially for some special education funding. We did want special education to be funded the entire amount, and that didn't happen, unfortunately. So those levies are incredibly important to us. I also know that some of our neighboring school districts are struggling right now, and that's not a great place to be. So we are engaging in something we call zero-based budgeting. So we're being very efficient and effective as much as we can with the monies that we have coming in and the monies that are expected from the state regarding our special education, and really trying to be very fiscally responsible. But we do have to tighten up in our budget. We are not going to experience the same cuts that we've had in the past 3 years that were really significant. But we do have to pay close attention and be very cautious with the funds that we have, and make some reductions as we move forward. But again, not to the significant amount that we've had to in the past. Yeah.
And of course, in the news a lot, and things that you've been getting from memos and paying attention to is there have been executive orders and talk from the Department of Education at the federal level about some changes. How are you managing that?
So lots of communication and really paying attention. Information gathering is essential. And then also putting forward the fact that we follow our policies and procedures that we have adopted here at Evergreen Public Schools, and we are following state laws. And so again, we're in that information gathering phase, constantly in communication with local superintendents, our region, our ESD 112, and then of course with our state OSPI office.
So when it comes to budgets and the federal government, I think it's around 5.6% of our overall budget the funds come from the federal government. So it's not something you can ignore when it comes to the budget, correct?
Correct, absolutely. 5.6%, that's a significant amount of our budget. And again, so that's one of the reasons why we've instituted this year and moving forward the zero-based budgeting. What is absolutely essential? What do we need in the classrooms with our students? And how do we support our staff with the right resources in order to support our students? And then moving out from there. Again, looking what's essential, what's the efficiencies that we can have in our budget, and looking for ways to really cut back on different areas that aren't essential, right? So moving forward, that we can have a balanced budget.
And to be clear, right now, when we say 5.6% comes from the federal government, we don't know about any changes. That's still informational, but it's something that you and our Chief Financial Officer, Jennifer Jacobson, are keeping a close eye on, just to make sure that there are plans in place.
Yes.
I do want to talk a little bit about some really happy stuff, which is we're approaching May, which means we're getting ever closer to graduation, and this will be your first graduations with Evergreen Public Schools. What are you looking forward to?
I am just so excited to see the graduates walk across that stage and get their diplomas. That it's a milestone in their lives and their families' lives, and what an incredible sense of accomplishment. I mean, if you have a high school diploma, that really opens doors for you as you move out into whatever post-secondary opportunity that you want, whether it's certification, an apprenticeship, going to the military, going to college, whatever that happens to be. But getting that high school diploma opens doors for you and a whole new world, and it's exciting to see the smiles on students' faces. It's like, hey, we did it. I did this. And a huge thank you for all of their supports, their families, their significant adults in their lives that have really helped make a difference, their mentors. A huge thank you to all of them for helping each one of our graduates get their high school diploma.
And of course, we just hope for good weather. That's the whole thing.
Yes,
no rain,
absolutely.
No rain. If there's rain, we get through it though.
And they still get their
There
diplomas.
you go. Well, thank you for talking about these issues. But before we go, I do want to share a story from our transition program at Archway Academy, where these 18 to 22-year-old students have created creature creations. When you walk into the kitchen at Archway Academy, you're not just walking into a classroom, you're walking into a business. Welcome to Creature Creations.
They get a bunch of different skills, following directions, measuring, doing something on a consistent basis. I mean, this is a job.
The job is to make pet treats from scratch so they can be sold to customers.
I just love using my skills, expanding my practice, and yeah, I'm just happy to help out with Creature Creations.
Creature Creations' home base is Archway Academy, a school that specializes in teaching 18 to 22-year-olds independent living skills, which includes preparing them for employment.
All our students have worksite learning experiences, and so for half the day they go out to a worksite and gain some employment skills that they can transfer to potentially paid employment.
With that in mind, instructor Josh Kelsom Martin makes sure his students know the rules from the start.
When you walk in that door as Creature Creations, you're not students, you're staff. You're basically like employees here. And I tell them, I will treat you as such.
The program was the original idea of Archway teacher Nora Giscombe Truman.
I literally went to my boss one day and said, wouldn't it be cool if we could make a work site out of this?
And it has been cool. And it's gotten even cooler since Josh took over the program 2 years ago.
He has really pushed what it is now.
I have that emotional investment in this program, in this Creature Creations, that I love seeing it grow, and pardon me, I set a lot of alarms to keep us on track.
And the program is on track, as they now sell pet treats to all EPS schools.
We have been very successful. Actually, I think first semester, I think Josh told me we made as much as we made all year first semester.
But it's not just about economic success. The students now do more than just make the treats. They run an entire business.
We do some marketing as well, and we have a website, which is really nice, and all the students get to upkeep that.
Seeing their confidence and how their productivity increases as a result of that, that's really amazing to see. And then also seeing them step out of their comfort zone. Like, we have delivery starting this year.
Yes, Archway students and volunteers even jump on city buses to deliver the product.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
It's been really good, get out there and really see new people that you haven't seen before, and I really love being a part of this program.
The big question, of course, is what do the customers think of the product? I think that's a 5-paw review. If you're interested in getting some treats, go to the Archway website or click on the QR code on your screen. And I do have to apologize, Dr. Moloney, because the original plan was to use one of your 3 dogs to eat the treats, but there was a scheduling push and I wasn't able to schedule. Your dog's schedule is very packed. So.
They are quite busy, napping, eating, getting pets, yes.
So we had to use a substitute dog, which, was mine. But I do know that you are a customer, right?
I am, and my dogs, we have Lycan, Celine, Pear, and Victor, right? And they absolutely, positively, I have to use that pen, love the Creature Creations.
And I hope more people buy these treats, because they're awesome. There are also some cat treats too, so I haven't tried those, but I'm sure they're delicious. But thanks, of course, for your time again. And that does it for this edition of Sit Down with the Sup. But please follow us on social media. Here's where you can find us.
On Facebook, you'll find us at facebook.com/evergreenps. On Instagram, it's evergreen_public_schools. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/evergreen school district. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And on LinkedIn, you'll find us at linkedin.com/school/evergreenps.